Hey guys, welcome back. As you can see, there's a little bit of a different backdrop here today. We are actually in Canopy. It's a beautiful cafe just off Henley Beach Road. If you're around Adelaide, check it out. It is incredible. Pete, the guy who runs it, awesome dude. If you check out our story and Instagram, there will be more details there.
Make sure you give him a follow on Instagram too.
All the stuff will be on our Instagram. We'll get started. Just in your comfortable seat, eyes closed down. You might want to keep them open so you can check out all the cool stuff behind us. Make sure it's very mindful. That length through the spine, sitting bones heavy. If you feel like your shoulders are starting to bunch up by your ears, relax them down. Gently the right ear begins to fall to the right shoulder. Gravity is taking over, drawing it down. Slowly back through center, left ear to left shoulder. Just invite this length in through the right side of the neck. Back through center. Start to come to your tabletop shape. We're going to be creating this activity through the hips today, so make sure, first things first, hands grounded, squeezing into the mat. Yeah, but I want you to, while you're doing that, keep this index finger knuckle heavy to the earth. I can't say index finger knuckle. Make sure it's heavy. Start to lift your left hand, bring it forward in line with your body. Then start to send your right foot back. Take a breath in, reach the fingertips away from the toes. Then as you breathe out, round over, bring your knee to your elbow. Extend as you breathe in, fill the belly. Squeeze the air out, push the ground away as you breathe out. One more time, reach, breathe in. Round over as you exhale, then find yourself back in neutral. We move to the other side. Right arm comes forward, left arm goes back. Squeeze the earth with that left hand. As you breathe out, bring your knee to your elbow, pushing the ground away. Broad, expand, big inhale. Squeeze it out as you round over. Reach, breathe in one last time. Find yourself back in that tabletop shape after you round over. Just a few cat-cows. Breathe in, drop the belly, head and hips come up. Then bring your chin towards your chest, pushing the earth away as you exhale. Now do it again, but start the movement at your hips, have it roll up your spine. Use the full breath before you land in that shape. Then same thing on the breath out. So it's the same movement, we're just isolating where we start, articulating this flow up and down the spine. Just two more like this. Find me hanging out at this end of the mat. This coffee smells amazing, that's why. One more round. Your next breath in, land in that straight spine, tuck the toes, find yourself in a downward facing dog. This is your first one of the day. Feel free to pedal out the legs, as always, pushing the earth away. Now in this class, like I said, we're going to be moving through the hips. There's going to be some movements that require a lot of stability. Okay? And here, in this shape, in our downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana, the stability comes from the wrists and the shoulders. So make sure you're pushing the earth away. Externally rotate through the arms. And what I mean by that is think about taking your triceps and wrapping them back. Yeah, what that's going to do is going to give you more space through the neck. It's for those people who feel bunched up in this shape. Take one more breath out. Start to walk the hands towards the feet, but take your time. Land. This ragdoll forward fold, the head and the shoulders are heavy. When we release tension through this part of the body, it allows the spine to lengthen. It's the same feeling you get as if you're hanging from a bar and you can feel that space between each vertebrae getting a little bit. slowly, gently start to roll up to standing. Make sure you breathe in. For all those people that get dizzy when they stand up, a big breath in is really going to help there. Roll the shoulders back. Over Hastasana, start to lift the hands up as you breathe in. Fold over as you breathe out. Sitting bones spin up. Keep them spinning up. Halfway lift, breathe in. Start to walk your hands out. Land in a high plank. Now, as always here, you can shift the weight forward. You can bring your knees to the earth. Make sure the hands, they're the stabilizers now. Just one more breath out. If you haven't already, shift the weight forward, drop the knees lower, keep the elbows hugging in through Chaturanga. Just one baby cobra, we're going to hold it. So the head, chest, the shoulders lift up. We're squeezing all these muscles through the upper back, all of the spinal extensors. Take one more breath in, hands come off the ground. If they haven't already, then release. Release down to the mat. Push up through that tabletop as you breathe in, then let the sitting bones come up and back, down dog, breathe out. We're going to move straight into our first little flow, so take a breath out. Your heels are going to rise up, breathe in. Bend through the knees, breathe out. Step the feet outside of the hands, Malasana, Yogi Squat. We land here. Make sure there is length through the spine. We don't want to be rounded over here. We don't want to be passive. A really good trick is when you use your elbows to take your knees out, take your elbows away. If your knees instantly fall in, you've gone a bit too far. So keep that engagement, keep that lengthening through the spine. Take one more breath out. Keep the right foot at the front of the mat, step the left foot back, lizard lunge. Breath in. Now here you have a few options. You can do what India's doing and keep this left leg really engaged. Turn on through the left glute. This leg should be super straight. If you want, you can drop the knee to the earth, but notice how there was still a straight line from the knee through the crown of the head. It's not rounding over through the upper body. No matter where you are, the furthest point back, whether that's toes or knee through the crown of the head, is engaged and strong. Take one more breath in here. This next movement towards Skandasana. Keep your hips super low as you breathe out. Now you do not have to be as low as India is here. You could be sitting up here. As long as there's a bend in that left knee, and the knee and the toes in line on both legs, you are building strength. Now eventually, if you get to this point, amazing. If not, amazing too. Take one more breath out. Start to build energy through that left hand. Fireball, breathe in. Let it bring you up and forward so there's this long straight line from that left heel through the left fingertips. It's like if somebody pulled this hand, you can start to lift up off that left toe. Good. One more breath in here. Start to ground the right foot, revolve, stalk as you breathe out. So that left knee lifts, the right arm goes forward and the left arm goes back. We're twisting here through the upper back. We're not using our arms or anything to push us there, we're just using our core. Take one more breath out. This is a tricky one. Start to send the left foot back, reverse warrior. So you're bending through the right knee. Lengthening through the right side body. Plant the hands. Chaturanga, breathe out. That is a tough transition. Up dog. Downward facing dog, breathe out. Come high up on the toes in. Bend the knees, breathe out. Step, jump, float, halfway lift in. Then take the feet out wide. Malasana. He's half a pose ahead, that's fine. She's eager, she's ready. So we're starting the other side from this yogi squat. Again, every time we land here, it's the same little checklist. Am I engaged? Am I lengthening through the spine? Am I bringing the knees out as wide as I can get them? With strength. Take one more breath out. Left foot stays forward, right foot goes back. Lizard lunge as you breathe in. And I want you to think here, as well as engage through that back leg, is broadening through the collarbones. You're trying to bring them towards the front of the mat. What that's going to do, it's going to stop you from rounding over through the upper half. Take one more breath in here. Keep the hips super low, Skandasana, as you breathe out. Now, super low may mean something different for everyone, but I promise you, if you try and move low, it is going to feel like you're scraping your butt along the ground. And the same thing here, we're basically in a half Vinyasa. So that right knee now, the knee is in line with the toes, but we still have this length through the spine. Take one more breath out here. Start to build energy through the right hand, fireball, let it lift you up and forward so you're high up on the right toe. All this energy coming out through the right fingertips. So bend through the right knee, but you're not, left knee, sorry, but you're not resting the belly on the thigh. Take one more breath in, start to ground that left foot. Revolved, stalk. There's going to be some flowy arms in this one. Catch the balance. Wobbles are good, yeah? All those little stabilizing muscles in the foot that don't really work when we're just standing there on two legs, they get heaps of work when we're on one. Imagine somebody's pulling your hands away from each other. One more breath out. Start to bend through that left knee, send the right foot back. Reverse warrior. Lengthen through the left side. That's a tricky one. Hands, windmill, flow through. And you might have done one chaturanga up dog, down dog, be like, nah, I'm done, that's it. I just want to go straight back to down dog. If that's the case, amazing. Yeah, this is your practice. Come high up on the toes, breathe in. Bend the knees out, step, jump, float, halfway lift, length through the spine. Feet come out wide, Vinyasa. We're going to flow this through. One breath, one movement. Go at your pace. I know we say this a lot, but it's always a good reminder. If you feel like you breathe a little faster or a little slower than I'm calling or your ears moving, amazing. Go at your pace. Take a breath out together in Vinyasa, in this strong, active resting shape. Right foot stays, left foot goes back. Fingertip lunge, breathe in. Skandasana, slow and strong. Plant the right foot. Fireball, breathe in. Come up through that revolved stalk, breathe out. Slowly, the big toe mount on that left foot lands. Reverse warrior, breathe in. Windmill the hands down. Chaturanga or straight back to downward facing dog is up to you. We'll all meet there on the breath out. Come high up on the toes in. Bend the knees out, step or jump, halfway lift in, length through the spine. Wriggle the toes out, Vinyasa on the exhale. The left foot stays, right goes back. Lizard, length. Then Skandasana slowly as you breathe out, energy through the right hand. Fireball, breathe in. Ground that left foot, revolved, stalk, twisting through the core. Then as slow and controlled as you can touch down, this big toe mound, reverse warrior in. Windmill the hands, flow through however you have to flow, however you need to land. Back in that downward facing dog, but we all get there on the breath out. Heels rising, knees bend, step, jump, float, handstand, halfway lift in. Little fancy footwork, Vinyasa out straight away. We're going to go again. Right foot stays, left foot back, lizard on the breath in. Then as slow and low as you can, Skandasana, let that left hand bring you forward. Fireball, a little high five. Ground the right foot, lift the left knee, breathe out. Think big toe mound touching down, then lengthening through the right side body, breathing. However you need to get back. There's no right, there's no wrong here. Just move slowly with your breath. Lift the heels in. Bend the knees. However you need to get to the front of the mat, try out something new, maybe halfway lift. Heel toe on the last. Lizard lunge one more time, left foot stays right back. Skandasana as slowly as you can. That energy in the right hand, fireball, breathe in, length, heel to fingers, then revolve, stalk, breathe out, think. Big toe mound down. Reverse warrior, inhale, kneel down, flow through your Vinyasa flow. It could look like this, it could look straight back to down dog, you could be in child's pose if you need to. Heels rise, knees bend, halfway lift, breathe in, land in the Lasana, stay. Amazing job, guys. That is not an easy flow. You can stay here as long as you need. If you want an arm balance, you can start to bring your hands to the earth. We're coming into Bakasana or Crow. Make sure your index fingers are forward, the rest of the fingers are flared and gripping. Start to bring your knees as high up your triceps as you can. Start to shift. Magically one toe comes up. Maybe two. Once they're both off the ground, hug them in towards your body. Good. Make sure you look forward. Your body's going to go wherever your eyes go. So if you're looking back between your hands, your weight's going to want to go that way. We're going to try a jump back. So we'll come back into crow. I want everyone to give it a go. If you land on your face, you land on your face. That is totally fine. This is actually quite a hard floor, so hopefully Indy doesn't land on her face. So we'll move back to crow. If you've left, first thing you want to think is hips up, then shoot back, chaturanga, maybe your knees hit the ground. Up dog, breathe in. Down dog, bring your knees to the earth. Land in a child's pose. Your knees can be together, your knees can be out wide. Close down your eyes. Breathe into your belly. If you're having trouble breathing into your belly, take the wide leg variation. Take one more round of breath. Start to lift yourself back up so you're in a hero's pose. Send your left leg out long. Keep your right where it is, but just start to bring your heel to the outside of your hips. If you're somebody who has a big calf muscle, maybe you can move that off to the side as well. Coming into saddle pose. So the beautiful thing about this is it's very easy to find your depth. Start here. Start with your hands on the earth. If this is enough for this right thigh, awesome. Maybe you start to take it a little further back to the point where your elbows are on the ground. This may be it for you. If that's the case, amazing. Or maybe you lay down. Everyone doesn't need to lay down. You know, wherever you are on that spectrum is amazing. If you try to go all the way down and you feel all of this pressure through your lumbar spine because you're arching, come back up. If you lay all the way down and you feel this right knee lift halfway up into the air, come back up. There's so many different options, and that's why we give you guys so many options, because they're all amazing. You're all going to get something out of whatever option works best for you. Just a few more breaths. This opening through the front, that right thigh, then really slowly using your elbows and your hands, start to push yourself back up. Switch over legs. Same thing here. Be careful of immediately going to a depth. India knows her body. That's why she lay down straight away. Okay. One side may be totally different to the other. Depends on what we do day to day. If you play soccer or footy or do a certain job, you're going to have one leg that's way more flexible than the other. Everything we do in our day-to-day lives is going to show up in your yoga practice on your mat. It's all about being aware. There's no right, there's no wrong, there just is. Take one more breath. Slowly start to lift back up. You're just going to roll the legs out in front. Start to bring your legs out wide. And this is another one, you do not need to look like India. She's very, very open in this shape. What you do need to do is look at your own body and think, am I rounding through my lower back? If that's the case, sit up on a block, sit up on a pillow. This length through the spine, like somebody's got a string from the crown of your head. Chest towards the earth as you breathe out. We're only going to be here for a few breaths. But every time you breathe in, feel your midsection expand. Every time you breathe out, melt into that space, fold into that space that the breath in has created. Take one more round actively like that. Slowly start to lift yourself back up. Keep your legs out wide. Bring your right elbow to the inside of your right leg. Before you do anything, spin your chest over. Keep that. Start to reach up and over with the left hand. Notice I said up and over, not to the right foot. Unless you're already open, reaching for that foot is going to get you to compress through the right side of the body and round over. We want to create length. So reach past the foot. Keep this left hip crease heavy. Try to dirty up the knees on his pants. Take one more breath and reach a little further. Start to switch sides. Left elbow to the inside of left leg, right arm reaches up and over. Every breath in, this space gets a little bigger, it gets a little longer. One more in. Start to come back. Start to bring your legs out in front. Bend both your knees just a little bit. You're going to bring your left heel to your outer right hip. Then your right heel to your outer left hip. If your knees do not stack up on top of each other, that is fine. As long as both your sitting bones are on the ground. If you are uncomfortable in your bottom knee, send it out long. This may be enough for your outer hips. Gomu is a pretty strong shape for a lot of people. Gomu-kasana. Maybe you just create length through the spine, or maybe you start to fold forward. Try it out. See where you get that sensation in your outer hips. Maybe you hear nose that she gets a more beneficial sensation as she sits up straight. You may be totally different. That's what's beautiful about this practice. We all have the same postures, but we find our version of it. We find what's going to best serve us. One more round. You can switch over sides. You can break dance, or you can just unravel your legs. Give it a go. Same thing on this side. When I say same thing, it's that same awareness. It's not necessarily the same depth. One side, as always, can be totally different. We still look at it with that same level of compassion, same level of understanding, just scanning our body. There's no right, there's no wrong. All that's going on is what's going on, and us becoming aware of it. Just 2 more breaths. wherever your legs lay down on your back. Give your knees a big, loving hug. Give a little rock side to side, side to side, till eventually both your knees fall over to the right side. Keep your shoulders heavy. If you need a little more support here, you can use a prop underneath in between your knees. If you don't have a prop, bring your arm in between your knees. See how that feels. Here we're releasing through the spine, especially the upper back, our thoracic spine. Every time you breathe in, feel the midsection of the torso get bigger. Every time you breathe out, it's like you're wringing out a sponge. Getting rid of all of those things that aren't serving us so we can create space for what is. When you're ready, start to take it to the other side. Few breaths to feel this active release. And ready, back towards center. Send your legs out long, your arms down by your sides, close your eyes. Go of the practice and go of the breath. Sink down into your mat. Some awareness back to your breath. Take small movements, fingers and your toes. When you're ready, start to move towards a comfortable seat. If you want a little longer in your Shavasana, take it. It's the beauty of these online classes. If you're ready to move on, come to your comfortable seat, bring your hands to your heart and Anjali Mudra. Gentle bow of your head, acknowledge your practice, acknowledge the practice, everyone else who's done it with you. As always, I leave you with what Maharaji left Ram Das: love everybody, tell the truth. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you so much, yogis, for joining us in this beautiful space. As we said before, if you want more info on Canopy, check out our Instagram. See you next time.
Thanks, guys.